really good team we just played, and I could see why they're top 10 team in the country. I thought that our guys competed all the way through the game, and I thought it was one heck of a football game. I thought that there was not a time in the game that we didn't think we were going to win the game. There was not a time in the game that we didn't feel we could go head-to-head with that team, and we did it. We did it. We went head-to-head, toe-to-toe, had a chance for an onside kick there at the end in a one-possession game. A couple of possessions ended in field goals that I would have liked to end in touchdowns. Obviously, I'd like to see when we're first and goal on the 2, second and goal on the 1, not to have a 5-yard loss on a run. And I thought that probably Dorian could have scored on the sideline, down the sideline. But when you hit a 73-yard pass, you got to finish with a touchdown. I thought our defense played very well under the circumstances of going against top, whatever, number 18 offense in the country. I thought it was the exact game that I expected. I thought that our offense was going to do well. I thought that their offense was going to do well. And we were not disappointed in that. It was a 45-37 game, and both teams had over, 550 yards of offense. And that was that type of game. But our defense, first down stop, second down stop, third down stop. They had a 4th and 1, and they barely got it, or we had the ball back with a minute left to go 60. So that was as competitive a football game as we've been in, I think. We've had some really good ones around here since I've been here, but we are just getting better. And I think that was a step in the right direction on this build. And I am excited to see where our team can go. I think we have the best quarterback that I've ever been around in college football. And I love the fact that he's a sophomore. And I just enjoy our team very much. And I think the fact that we have such a young team with such great passion and energy, it bodes very well for the future.
Are you a believer in the concept of moral victories?
No. I'm a believer in the concept of getting better. And I think that, as I said to our team, you're not going to win every battle to win a war. But we're going to just go fight in every battle, and we'll win enough of them here as we continue on this process. But, I don't know what the word moral victory, not really for me. It's just a matter for us is how did Arizona football play today, and I thought we played well.
There was that 3-play stretch in the third where Jaden had a long run, then he was intercepted, and then they scored on the next play. A year ago, was that kind of the time where things could have fallen apart compared to this year, and a sign of the growth?
Yeah, I think, Brian, that the one thing we were really proud of last year was that things really didn't fall apart as much as we just didn't have enough firepower to catch up. I think that was really what happened a year ago, that if we got down, let's call it 17 points or 14 points or 2 scores, we really didn't have the juice. I think that I know that our team believes that they have the juice now. So when you feel like you have that, you don't really get as concerned as maybe we would have, let's call it a year ago, personnel-based. I also think that our defense, really felt like they were going to, they made some stops, and they did. There was some stops that weren't stops, but they felt like stops.
The defense seemed to come up with that 3rd and 8 stop, and then you guys get hit with the penalty. And you just take me through your thought process through that moment.
I thought we got a 3rd and 8 stop. That was my thought process at the moment, and then I saw a flag. And I haven't seen the replay. I haven't seen what happened. So I thought we got him off the field, and I thought that was what was going to happen in that situation.
Were you nearby where that whole thing was taking place with Jerry and Caleb?
I was a little bit, probably a little bit back. I think I was looking at my notes or something, but I did see it, yeah.
So as you mentioned, you were an onside kick or a 4th down stop away from having the ball down by a score chance to tie. Similar situation against Washington. What do you think is the difference between where your program is at and where those other programs are at right now that's causing those to be like that one score, 7, 8, 10 points?
Yeah, I think that they've just found a way to get one more score than we have. And I think that it's a matter of, as we're building it, I think if you look at the way the USC team over the last, let's call it 4 years of classes that they've brought in, and Washington's classes that they brought in over the last 4 years, I think that they're continuing to grow and develop the players they have, and I think we're continuing to grow and develop the players we have. We're playing with a lot of younger players than probably those teams are, and I think we started 6 true freshmen tonight. And then, so sometimes that's going to happen. But, hats off to Washington, hats off to USC. Those guys they got good teams, good offenses, and we're coming for them.
Earlier in the season, Jedd had some games where you guys were trailing through some late picks that kind of sealed the game for you guys. But today you're trailing, and he keeps on making plays for you guys. Can you talk about the growth that he's shown throughout the season?
Yeah, I think if my math's right, he's 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the last 4 games. 1 interception today, and then 1 interception a couple weeks ago, I think. I think he's making really, really good decisions. He's learning our offense better and better. He's, sometimes I feel like we have like this pitcher-catcher combo. I give him a signal, and he kind of shakes me off, give him another signal. He would never have done that early on. But now he's feeling more comfortable in what we want to get done. And I feel more comfortable. I would say early on, I would have just said, you run what I call. But now I trust him that he now can communicate better with me. Like, Coach, I know what the play is. I know what all 5 eligibles are going to do. I don't feel as comfortable with this as that. And I think that's the growth we're seeing from him. He's a phenomenal player. Really. He rushed for 75 yards and threw for 380. It's 450 total yards of offense, and 1 interception, which I would say was a great play by their safety. Number 27, robbed kind of came down and robbed the backside. Other than that, plus 2 2-point throws. And, I think he's just getting better each week. I want him to get better every week for as long as he's a Wildcat. Just get better every single week, and I think we'll be very happy with where he'll be over the course of these next couple of years.
All 3 of his touchdowns went to Dorian Singer. They were all spectacular catches in their own ways. What did you think of Dorian's performance?
I think Dorian's spectacular. I think he's his ball skills. There's some catches out there. There's some plays that he makes that I don't even know what to say about him, really. They're tremendous. They're, fantastic one-handed catch falling backwards with his left hand. There's some things that are just cool. Sometimes you just look at it and be like, that was a cool play. And that's what he does. Now, I'll say this. He does them in practice. It's not like you guys are the only guys that get to see him on game day. Like, this kid does those plays in practice, and he has that knack and he has that ability, and I'm glad we have him.
What have you heard about John Coleman?
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine for the game. We could have put him in an emergency situation, just a soft tissue deal that I didn't want it to get worse. But I would expect him to be full go for practice, maybe limited tomorrow, and then full go for the Utah game. That would be my guess.
And then how was it having Wiley back?
Great. I think Michael had, a touchdown, 56 yards rushing, and then also another 40 receiving, got back in the touchdown on the option play. It was nice that we completed that this week on the option pitch. And that was a big play for Mike to get in the end zone. And, I just think our guys are competing. But before I answer anything else, I do want to give a shout-out to, first, Rob Gronkowski for coming in. I think it is so awesome when guys like that come back. And I apologize for not starting with that. He has been phenomenal. He was at our practice on Thursday. He came to our team dinner at Mr. On's on Thursday night. And he was right there for us every stretch of the way. So to have Rob Gronkowski back here was awesome. I think the Zona Zoo tonight, Gronk Zoo, as I renamed it for this game, was fantastic. Their energy is great. Our fans have been awesome. I want to thank them, and thank you guys for covering us too. I know that we're on all different hours all the time, so I appreciate that.
You had some different guys guys in there on defense, and at least early on, there was a lot of rotating. Without being able to look at the film, how do you feel the defense did in terms of just the changes that you made?
Yeah, I thought it was great to see Ty out there early. He started the game. I thought Price Sock started the game. Both of those guys, seemed to play really well. Again, without watching the tape, it would be hard for me to say, but it was great to see them back out there, or to see them out there for their first ever start. Jacob Manu is going to be a very, very good football player for us, and he got another start there, and he's done well. But there was a good Tacario Davis was out there, I think on the first third down of the game, and then all of our dime package. Great to have him out there. Isaiah Taylor played a lot more this week. So without seeing the film, I don't really want to say, but I would say that we saw a lot of young guys, a lot of this class that our first class coming out and playing well, and can't wait to tack on the next class.
It seems like you're starting to implement more of the 2022 class as the season goes on. So what about that group has allowed, to gain your trust?
Well, I think the biggest thing for them is they all came in as winners. They won in all their high school games that they played. For the most part, they were all on very good teams, with very good records. And that's number one. Number two, as they continue to get into our weight program, you'll start seeing, Ty's gained 25 pounds. Kangaika's gained 14 pounds. Guys are now beginning to grow into being college football bodies. And when you get that, Ephesians Price Sock's gained 13 pounds. So now all of a sudden you feel much more comfortable putting them in because they've been with our strength staff. As you guys know, how I believe Tyler Owens does a phenomenal job with our guys. Now he's got them going, and now we feel really comfortable being able to play some of the guys that just got here from the high schools.
Caleb Williams was really hard to sack tonight. He also would get away from pressure and throw the ball downfield. These laser-like throws. What were the challenges that he presented?
I think Caleb Williams is always hard to sack, not just tonight. Going back and looking at some of the games that he's played this season, he very rarely gets sacked. I mean, he is. He's like Jaden. They're very elusive in their own ways, different ways, different but same in terms of, the 2 sacks we took were wacky sacks. I mean, we just got beat right off the bat. But it was it was one of those, Caleb's very hard to sack. He's always been very hard to sack. He's got a tremendous arm. He's big. He's strong. He's a great football player. We all know that. When he chose to transfer from Oklahoma, they got a great quarterback.
What was your take on what happened at the end of the first half, with the spotting of the ball and the clock running out and all that?
That they ran out of time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Were you just like, hey, let's get in the locker room and hopefully they won't change their minds?
Well, it was clear when it went to zeros that there was no play at that point in time. I mean, there wasn't any. It's always the biggest issue. I'm telling you, as a play caller, when you have that 11-second mark with no timeouts, and you're trying to figure out, can I get a play called and a spike or not? That's always the trickiest deal. And they tried to get a play call, and they hit a deep one. And when you hit a deep pass, now you got to get everybody down there and try to get your spike, and it wound up that they couldn't get it done.